Luna, PR #1, would end up losing to 1, Impala, but 2, getting knocked to losers and then having to immediately fight probably the one person that has a winning record on him?
Yeah, that is a tough bracket for sure. And Luna already opening with that fastball dare. It means Raydish could have taken advantage of it. We haven't seen any of those down sticks just yet. Maybe too early into the set, but both players with gauntlets in hand are fighting against each other. The gravity cancel sidelight recovery nair means Raydish takes a ton of damage at the beginning of game #1.
Okay, and Raydish trying to answer back here with some punishes of his own because Luna got a very nice extended string there. That's going to be a guaranteed recovery because he got that one off of a burned dodge. But now Raydish finally has that patented orb in hand. Can he make a little bit of a comeback here?
Yeah, we'll have to see. Luna gets that recovery, and wow, what patience on the recovery as well. Raydish trying to fade away, and Luna jumped right after him, gets the recovery off the top, and Raydish had the orb, and now he's right back over to the gauntlets. He's going to have to pick up that weapon and then throw it off the side if he wants to have a chance to get that orb, because that's where we've been seeing him have the most success. And Luna dodges right past that ground pound edge guard scenario here with that nair into recovery. Chase dodges straight up to get the falling nair, and Luna's looking like he's super on top here in this matchup. Oh, the gravity cancel down to catch Raydish on guard. This restocks the 1.
Raydish did not mean to do that, I can guarantee you that. But Luna is an opportunist, and he says if you make a mistake of that caliber at BCX 2022, thousands of dollars on the line, I'm sorry, bro, but we take those.
Gravity cancel silent as well. Luna is taking this. He's trying to make it into a 3-stock here. Dodges away from that down signature, and Raydish with the side air is just trying to catch Luna, but we see Raydish feeling the pressure. He's not doing those fade back stairs that we saw him have so much success with. Now he's starting to get some composure. Goes to the neutral light as well. Luna caught by the sidelight side air means that Raydish will get a stock on the board, but he has 1 damage stock to play with here in game #1.
He's going to actually lean into the gauntlets, which I'm a little bit curious about. I feel like we've been talking about his orb so much, but I think he thinks this gauntlets can get the job done, and they do have a bit more burst potential in terms of securing those early knockouts, and I think that's what Raydish is leaning into here, right? He's like, I don't know if I want to do 2 honest stocks. I want to see if I can maybe get Luna off the stage, get a quick early KO, and then try to work it from there. What is this setup? Holy cow, it's a Boomafu setup. I don't know where he learned that.
That setup was fantastic, though, because even though it didn't connect, he still got the gauntlets in hand and was able to continue the edge guard there. And while Raydish makes it back, he makes it back, taking a ton of damage. And that neutral light recovery will lead into Luna with a celebratory woohoo taunt as he goes into that going, hey, my winning record may not exist yet, but it's going to after this BCX, because man, was that a dominating game 1.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you that aren't super familiar with Brawlhalla, maybe you're tuning into the stream for the first time. This is the first Brawlhalla event you've ever seen. The woo-hoo taunt is like the equivalent of getting hit by a default dance in Fortnite, all right? It's like, it's that level of disrespect. So the fact that we saw Luna go for that frame perfectly after securing that stock cannot bode well for Raydish.
It definitely cannot, but we'll see if Raydish is going to be able to look at that and go, hey, you just got an early stock off of the flub for me in game #1. Let's see how it plays out here. Well, right away, Luna gets the first weapon and bullies Raydish off the side of the stage. Flambeau, I think the difference maker here is whether Raydish gets onto that orb early on, but he gets the pick up on the gauntlets, puts up the neutral light. Would have been the same effect regardless of what weapon he gets, but Luna has been doing such a great job of when Raydish tries to go for orb, he makes sure that his life is as hard as possible.
I mean, so far at this point, I think Raydish will have a better time this time around. But first, like, he's really leaning into these gauntlets, and I don't know if it's the answer. The Katars from Luna have been the thorn in Raydish's side, and a lot of people, like, if you ask a player like Wrench, who wins the matchup, gauntlets or Katars, there's a lot of people that will tell you they think Katars wins that.
Yeah, that's right, and Luna is really making the case for that there, as he's been getting all these reversals, and the recovery in orange takes Raydish off the top, and now Luna versus Raydish. Raydish finally has that orb in hand, sides to catch the stuff recovery, and he evens up the game real quick. He's going to throw the orb all the way up the top of the stage, tosses the gauntlets to the side. Now he has a fresh orb and an orb primed. We are far away, Flambeau, from a situation where Raydish is not going to be playing with this weapon so far, and I think this is where Raydish is finally going to be able to take the lead as he gets that sidelight and that side sig to continue taking a good lead over Luna here in game #2.
Okay, Raydish, the orb in hand now, going to be fighting against these Katars, but seemingly just struggling against this weapon in general right now, as he's unable to really find any good blows, and the weapon is one of the few in the game that can keep up with the speed of the orb, and they fight at relatively the same range.
Oh, now Luna dashing back and forward. Gets a sidelight, gets a neutral light, but no jump read with the neutral stick, and Raydish has a great punish with the sidelight sider, and there's the orb that he had primed. Tosses the old one away, has a fresh one in hands, and the Sair catches Luna in the sky, tries to go for that pivot recovery, and Luna doesn't let him have it, and the neutral stick just a few damage away from being able to knock out. Luna goes for that recovery, Raydish ducks low, and the slide charge pivot. Neutral stick does not connect, but Luna can't get the punish. It's so close.
And that's the thing that I was actually talking to Boda about yesterday, is that, like, if you're trying to KO on Katars, regardless of if you have the read or not, you just go for end-line jump recovery. And if it hits, it hits. If it doesn't, you said peace out.
That's correct. And Raydish with the neutral light on the gauntlets gets the unarmed recovery and takes the lead in game number 2 after what was a really strong start from Luna. Once Raydish was able to get that orb and prime future orbs, it's all been Raydish.
Okay, but despite that, the deficit is still not that small for Luna. Going for that down signature is not going to connect. Raydish getting a good chunk of extra damage here. That's 3 uncontested hits, and he gets to reset to the neutral game here, but gets hit by a weapon from forces to the corner, fights his way out, and Raydish has not been touched by a meaningful blow in so long now.
And look at that. After he does all of that, throws the weapon to the side, the orb's already primed up. It's definitely Raydish's best weapon, and one of the best players to do it as well. Connecting side airs into side airs, continuing to box Luna out, never giving an opportunity. Finally gets that pummel, gets the neutral light, but he's taking a gauntlet neutral light to take down Raydish's stocks now. The one weak caveat here, Flambo, is that Raydish has got gauntlets coming up next. Let's see if he's able to do it with it, because while I've been hyping up that orb, he's still pretty darn good with this weapon too.
Yeah, and the one thing that is a little bit cumbersome about this is that the only true conversion he has to go for here is gravity cancel D-light recovery, and if he's unable to find that, he may struggle. But that weapon spawn right there, I think he's flirting with it, but he's looking for a moment, and there it is.
Oh, and now orb picked up, side air connects. Luna using that recovery early to get back to the stage, and the dare just barely ducked out of the way. Luna with no dodge means that Raydish falls right down with that falling side air. Down air could come out here. No, the down sig gets in. Raydish with the down sig special takes Luna off the right side of the stage and brings it back after saying, might have celebrated with that woohoo a little too early.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like, you watched the end of that game too, and you're like, is anyone surprised that's how Raydish ended the game? No, right? Because he's always going for that down sig, but there are certain scenarios where, one, you get sent off stage so far that you burn so many resources just making it back to the stage that you actually can't avoid it. And 2, sometimes you just have to call the bluff. Sometimes you're like, he's not gonna do it, and you just go to the stage, and that time, he did it.
And surprisingly with this set so far, we have not seen Raydish really be in a position where he can go for it in the first place. So when the first time he brings out the down stick in the set against Luna, it works and it gets him to win, I am not surprised at all. And Raydish now with the momentum gets the first weapon, and while it's the gauntlets, it looks like he's fully warmed up in this matchup against Luna, as he's taken us into game number 3 with a solid lead using gauntlets alone.
Okay, and we're going to see what exactly Luna is going to be able to do with this no legend swap, which is perfectly fine. We have seen this Caspian do most of the work today. Very few swaps from Luna throughout the day. And that side signature, we actually saw that setup happen earlier.
It just would have knocked out. It just would have knocked out.
It would have.
And Luna got so close to it, and the neutral comes through, and he's just once again barely like a few damage away from taking Raydish out with those neutral signatures. But Raydish, once he gets hit by it once, I don't expect to see him get hit by it for the rest of that stock. Raydish down with the gauntlets, spot dodges in place, tries to bait a reaction from Luna, and Luna slides in with that down light, just barely whiffs, and both players with the gauntlets. Man, Luna just cannot catch a break with these knockouts off the top, and Raydish might get the first stock because of it. Side stick comes through, jumping side air, catches Luna as he tries to jump back to the stage, and Raydish takes the first stock.
Because you have to remember here that for Luna, unless he's KOing off the side with gauntlets, most of those recoveries, or rather knockouts, are going to be off the top from the recoveries of the various weapons he has. But the ceiling on this stage is up there, man.
It's up there for sure. And despite the high force of Diamond Head, Luna is still struggling to deal with Raydish's defense on Garnet. Down airs from the orb into side air. Catches the dodge up the double down sig. Luna barely avoids that by clinging onto the wall, but Raydish is running away with this game on the orb. Recovery puts Luna into orange. Nice nair, and Luna dips down with the nair, can't get his own, and Raydish with the dash back. The neutral light, no dodge, just goes to the down air off of the stage, and Luna now looking for some way to relieve the pressure.
Okay, and just like that, Raydish has woken up here, but will Luna be able to fight back? Fights his way down with the neutral air and leads it into a very beautiful extension and a weapon throw. Beautifully shot. Steph Curry in the cut with that one.
Raydish just expecting that to go low. It did not think that it was in the trajectory where it was going to hit him. Doesn't dodge through it, and he loses that stock, and Luna starts hitting him with the guitar neutral lights. Cutting him up there, getting that down light right afterwards. And a ton of damage coming through his 3 neutral lights. Double recovery. Luna chase dodging up to babysit Raydish on the right side of the stage, and look at that. Raydish trying to get the reversal. Luna comes right back. Recovery, Sarah, weapon throw. Is that going to be it for Raydish's last stock? Of course it is. Down air, D-light, ground pound. Luna 2 stocks Raydish in game number 3. It is 1 game away from top 4 at BCX 2022.
That's why Luna is so difficult to fight, because there was a moment in that game where it seemed like, all right, with the way Raydish is playing, I mean, he was getting orb sequence after orb sequence. Luna was struggling for a bit there. I was like, wow. But then the moment you give Luna an inch, takes a foot, takes a yard, like he just keeps on going, and that's why his aggression is so tough for all of NA to deal with. But it looks like Raydish is going to try his best to keep that going, as we still have that Garnet locked in. No swaps are going to be happening here today. Hopefully he can bring this to maybe yet another game 5 set.
We could, but it's going to be up to Raydish on how he's able to deal with the weapon spawns here, because while Luna has been doing fantastic on the Caspian, I'm not really seeing any conditions for the weapon that he picks up, whereas Raydish very much favors the orb. And look at that, orb is the first weapon that he picks up here in this game number 4, and he starts boxing Luna off to the right side of the stage. Neutral light, he's been so good at punishing those dash-ins from Luna, and Luna dash jumping in with that side air, gets punished by the D-light, and these pivot recoveries from Raydish have caught Luna off guard time and time again.
The toughest part for this is, I mean, we were talking about it in the last game, that like, if Luna is getting KOs off the top, it's going to take so long. And the reason he won that last game is because he got early KOs off the bottom using weapon throws and the combination of his weapons kit. But if Raydish is able to keep the game on stage and kind of play a slower neutral-based game where he's just fishing for side-light side airs and not really going off stage, I think he can bring it back.
And on top of that, doing what he's been doing so well just there, while Luna was recovering and he gets that side-light side air, what was Raydish doing? Picking up the weapon spawn, not to deny the weapon, but to prime the orb. And he has a fresh one in hands now as he's keeping Luna disarmed and still applying the pressure with the weapon that he does it best with, the orb. Nair forces the dodge. Luna sweats back to the stage, and Raydish continues guarding this weapon. Luna finally breaks up the pressure, picks up the gauntlets, and he's looking for these nairs on the way back to the stage.
And yeah, you can even see he's guarding the weapon, but he refuses to start it, right? Because he's like, I don't want to mess up the orb that I just primed. So sure, I'll throw out some hitboxes around the weapon, but I'm not actually going to take it from you, because I'm confident that once you pick it up, I'm still going to be able to beat you. And he'd much rather not have the downtime of having gauntlets in his hand and just have that orb ready.
That's right. Only beginning to see those swaps over when he's got an edge guard scenario like this one, perhaps. Sider comes through. Great punish. Sidelight Nair. Reed doesn't get the recovery right afterwards. Really banking on him not having that dodge there, but the damage is still coming through on our recovery. I mean, yeah, we've been hyping up the orb, but the gauntlets are still great here with how much of a huge lead Raydish has. But Luna on point today with that. He constantly gets those neutral lights. He fades down because he dashes forward with it, falls off the stage, and gets the jumping recovery to get the knockouts. And Luna brings it to a 2-stock-to-2 situation. But Flambo, this is the biggest lead we've seen Raydish have all set.
Yeah, Raydish should be in a good position here. If you can get a sidelight side air, depending on positioning, it might be enough to KO. A Ross air, though, won't be enough. The dodge will be back in time. Doesn't even need to use it to make it back to the stage. And Raydish is like, can I get a Ross air? There's going to be another one, and it's going to be enough. And Raydish might be able to go ahead and bring this to yet another game 5 if he's able to keep up with this lead he's created for himself. He's looking pretty healthy.
He's looking pretty healthy, and whenever he has a lead, it becomes so much more harder for Luna to be able to claw back because he's able to set up the stage, take position on the stage, and set up the weapon spawn order for him to continue dominating with this weapon. And Luna on the gauntlets might start dominating here. Goes for that recovery really early on, sweating. Doesn't go for the gravity cancel neutral sig instead, and the side sig would have gone the reversal there, but Raydish just takes him off stage. And when Raydish is really feeling comfortable, you see those fade back side airs that he's so good with on these landings as he controls center stage are going to take advantage of Luna. And Luna putting out those neutral sigs doesn't get them to connect, and one neutral light connects as Raydish brings Luna closer and closer to orange on his last stock.
Okay, and just like that, we're going to see if Raydish can make it back to the stage. Has one in the orange, dodges through the daggers from Diamond Head, and at this point, each sidelight air brings him that much closer to bringing this to a game 5.
Sidelight side air, enough force from Raydish there on that game number 4. And man, I mean, if we had to like look at uptime for weapons for Raydish, I'm pretty sure it's like 95% on the orb there. And that was so great that he was able to get into that situation where once he gets that lead, he can set up the weapons on stage, prime it. And like you said, Flambo, in addition to that the weapon priming, his version of weapon starving is letting the spawn just sit there and constantly back Luna out of the way so that he can't pick it up in the first place. And Raydish is succeeding so well with that. So it's going to be up to Luna to be able to break through that gameplay strategy of Raydish if he wants to take this game 5, because we have another game 5 scenario here in top 8 of BCX.
Okay, we're going right back to the Fortress of Lion yet again. No change of scenery. Luna basically saying, I just have to be better than you.
That's what it takes. And they're on the same legend, same stage as we're going into this game number 5. Winner of this will be in top 4, waiting for the winner of Kaina and Stingray. Raydish versus Luna, looking for that win on game number 5. Luna starting off strong with the guitars, and Raydish looking for that weapon, and Luna just playing the same edgeguard game there, but there it is. The orb picked up, and he goes for the double neutral A, and Luna just barely outspaces it and continues to rack on the damage.
Okay, Raydish needs to find an opening here. Luna doing so immaculately on these guitars, but I'm worried about how Luna's gonna find the KOs. It's been a bit of a struggle. If he gets them early, he wins the game. If he doesn't, Raydish gets these huge leads that Luna seems unable to stop. But so far, I mean, neutral has slowed down.
It's definitely slowed down here as Raydish is trying to get Luna off stage, because we're not going to see any of that stage prep until Luna has enough damage that Raydish can actually sidelight cider him off. Luna now switching over to the gauntlets, gets one sidelight, doesn't get the second one, and Raydish goes back to center stage, but the weapon throw from Luna interrupts the pressure from Raydish. There's one Sayer Flambeau, can he get another one? But no, Luna comes back to stage, good punish on the down sig. Will he be able to get past the down sig from Raydish here? I thought that was coming out, but no, does not come out in time as Luna makes it back.
Okay, and Luna hasn't really gone for many neutral sigs on the gauntlets either, kind of sticking with that down sig, a side sig here and there, but until the first stock is taken and it looks like it's going to be in favor of Luna, I don't know how Raydish is going to do playing from behind. In the last game, he kind of built that lead and sat there, and Luna kind of struggles to go ahead and bring things back, but now that he's behind, this might be exactly what Luna needs.
Yeah, every game that has started off with Luna in the stock lead has led to a Luna victory. And Luna taking the chance with the guitars, has the nair, the down air. The weapon throw forces Raydish to go high, and Luna gets the unarmed recovery, but Raydish makes it back. The D-light, the weapon throw interrupted the recovery. That would have been a true combo, and Luna picks up the guitars here as Raydish is now unarmed and makes it with his stock still intact as he continues weapon starving Raydish here. And like we said, Flambeau from behind, Raydish has definitely been having an uphill battle.
It really do be your own. Right now, this could be a tied stocks game, but the weapon throw putting Raydish that much further behind. The recoveries from Luna feel like they're cutting deeper than they normally do.
They definitely do, and that sideline slider will take it, but Raydish is so damaged that it's one of those situations where it's like maybe you hold on to the gauntlets just because your stock might fly so far, but no, he switches over to that orb. He definitely needs to play for all the damage that he can get, because Luna, once he picks up a weapon, heck, even an unarmed haymaker could do it. Side sig would definitely do it. The neutral sig could do it. Luna just waiting for those landings, though. That side sig just barely avoided here, and Raydish gets the first Sayer of many as Luna is now put on the right side of the stage.
Oh, and that's going to be an easy punish for Luna. Luna actually just kind of looking at Raydish and saying, do something. And this is what I meant by Raydish playing from behind has not borne any fruit for him. Now, obviously, you don't want to play from behind just in general, but a lot of the times matches can be a little bit more of a tug of war, but these seem to be more of a, can I just get in front and then be consistent?
And the most terrifying thing about Luna in the lead is that when he has that stock advantage, he's like, well, I've got guitars, I'm going to go off stage and I'm going to do something wild. And there he goes with that weapon throw. Fresh pair picked up. Down tick does not get hit, but Raydish with that side air has to go right back off stage, and Luna's just waiting for an opportunity to strike. Weapon throw down, gets the pickup, goes to the neutral light. The down light into dare does not connect, but Raydish continues to take damage on his tournament stock.
And this is one of those moments where Raydish, if Raydish makes his comeback, it's going to be through doing it pretty honestly. It's not going to be, oh, I send you off stage and get an early KO. That tends to not be Raydish's style.
It's going to be 17 neutral wins on the orb.
Yes.
As the side air comes through, he's swaying the D-like ground pound. All right, Raydish brings it to a one stock apiece game here in game number 5. Winner of this gets to the top 4 of BCX 2022. It's all on the line. Can Raydish maintain his undefeated record against Luna, or is Luna going to get the game and move forward to represent North America here at BCX? Raydish with the wins on the orb is not enough. He's taking so much damage, Flambeau, and Luna is a side sig away from a victory.
Yeah, at this point, Luna just does it off the ledge. What a ballsy play to go ahead and say, you know what? I'm just built different, and takes out Raydish and secures himself a spot still in this bracket.
You know, I said it was a side sig away from victory, but I did not expect to
Yo,
get like
coaching?
that. The gravity cancel sizing off the edge. I was thinking he had to get back to center stage to get him from there, but that move has so much raw power that Luna was just able to call him out and go, I know you're not going to go out here to chase me, and I'm going to catch you trying to stay grounded, and he gets the knockout and moves on here at BCX 2022.
You just knew, and that's the thing, man. Like, you know what your win conditions are. Once you've watched enough Brawlhalla, you can kind of just feel the way that the flow of the set is going. But speaking of the flow of the set, I want to hand it over to the people who just spent the past set analyzing all of it.
Dude, I need to go to someone who's good with nails, because that was a nail biter of a set. Luna versus Raydish going down to the wire, final stocks. It could not have gotten much closer than that. Zip, tell me about it.
Luna figured it out towards the end that he had to play the whole rest of the set with the guitars. That is what the answer was. Once he picked up the guitars and he started playing on those heavily, leaning on those as the main weapon, that's how he was able to overcome. Not with ease, though. Raydish was fighting back, and we keep talking about Raydish's orb, but Raydish was being kept off the orb at times and then picking up those gauntlets, and then you find out Raydish is just as good with that. It's all that Raydish is just good at neutral in general, and it kind of just made Luna have to change the way that he even played the game. That wasn't the regular aggressive, get you out of there Luna that we see. There was flashes of it.